Jacksonville! All right. Would you please welcome Molly Hatchet? In our last episode of The Gatekeeper, we were talking to Tom Werman about his new book, Turn It Up. He told us about the first act that he actually signed, which happened to be REO Speedwagon. He's tried to get 3 other acts that Epic turned down. And now, Tom, tell us, who is that next act that you actually signed to Epic Records?
The label figured out that I might know something that they don't. And so they said, what do you like now? And I said, well, Ted Nugent. So I was allowed to sign Ted, and then I moved into the studio and started to co-produce. You know, Ted came to rely on me for preserving his direction, making sure that he made an album that satisfied his musical desires. So we wound up making 5 platinum albums together.
I want to fast forward just a second. I want to talk about how you got involved with the Molly Hatchet project.
I was in the studio in Atlanta remixing Southern Girls by Cheap Trick because the label wanted to release it as a single. I get a call from Pat Armstrong. You know, he said, I'll bring my band up to Atlanta. They came up, we took a break, the engineer and I. They set up in the studio. It was perfect for an audition. And they played a set. And the 3-guitar attack, something that we didn't have that much of in the North. They were great. They played, I don't remember which songs they played, but I was very impressed, and I told them right away, I would like to sign you. And it just happened. It happened, and I got to work with a band that was like Lynyrd Skynyrd, but a bit harder.
Well, that first album, Tom, Molly Hatchet, there were so many hits in there. I mean, you've got songs like Dreams I'll Never See and Gator Country. And Dreams I'll Never See is an Allman Brothers song that Greg Allman wrote, and Hal Steve came up with this. He came in and sped it up, slowed it down a few places, and it knocked everybody down. I mean, it was just one hell of a song.
Yeah, the last minute with, that repeat.
And it was all because of you.
3 guys.
It was the way you produced it.
Baby, I hope so. It was great. And you're right about Steve. In terms of guitar proficiency, I don't think Jeff Beck was number 1 with me, but Dwayne Rowland was really close. The guy was astonishing guitar player. Never looked at the neck. On It's All Over Now by the Stones, he plays the solo that Keith tried to play, and it's perfect. He was it.
When they came in, and they're obviously novices at this, and you're the professional, what direction did you give them?
Well, they just played their songs, and they had, we doubled all the rhythm guitars. We used these little dwarf amps. It just was a recorded version of really what I assumed they did regularly live.
Well, the second album, Flirting with Disaster, okay, that was the song, the album that put Molly Hatchet over the top.
Yeah. They got very big very quickly, and it was especially effective in the north half of the country because there had been very few really southern bands that we heard up here.
When we first came out, okay, in September of 1978, we opened up for REO Speedwagon for like 4 or 5 months, and then we went to Bob Seger, and it was just incredible.
Tom, the Flirting with Disaster album has a lot of texture to it. I'm a drummer, so I really kind of pay attention to what Bruce plays. And Bruce, I thought, was a great drummer. I like the different added fills that he used to do with the hi-hat, with the cymbals. And I know being the record producer, you have something to say with that.
With him, not much. Same thing with Bunny Carlos and Tommy Lee. You know, you're a good drummer. I might have said, instead of the ride, do the hi-hat in that chorus, or you know, change that kick drum pattern, drop that third hit, something like that, but no schooling.
When the project was finished, and I'm talking about Flirting with Disaster, and you actually listened to the tracks back, did you know that there was lightning in the bottle?
Well, Flirtin' was definitely, you know, the lead cut. I think on that album. It's so far back. I'm not sure what else was a potential single on that album. But yeah, I knew that was it. Just like I knew Cat Scratch Fever was it for Ted. You know. It leaps out at you, kind of.
From Studio 1J in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida, stand by for more conversations with Tom Werman, producer of the first 5 Molly Hatchet albums.